Good morning. This is Jim Whitehead of All Power Group. I want to thank you very much for being here. Today, this video is me installing a cellular monitor on a generator. And what prompted it was they lost power and the generator didn't start up. Monitoring helps for both the customer knowing what's going on with the generator and a dealer. So at least if something comes up, you know it's got a problem, you take care of it before they lose power, and then you're basically in trouble. When I first started selling monitors, basically the customers, they'd say, oh, I don't want to pay you because that's going to make your job easier. And I would say, well, actually, it's a benefit to both of us because you want to make sure when you lose your power, you have your generator. And I won't be there just to get there and be there in 2 seconds and take care of it. So this is one where we found it benefits at both parties very, very much so. It got to a point where I had about 30, 40 monitors out, and I made a big decision business-wise to pay for these monitors myself, install the monitors, and so for the first year under a service plan, I was taking quite a big hit because the cost was about $350 each. But when you add it all together, and in the case of having multiple customers for multiple years, I'm taking better care of them. They're happier. And of course, after the second year or into the second year, the only cost of the monitor is the monitoring itself, and that was $99 a year. The monitors that we use down here were based on the Verizon network. We found when we had AT&T monitors that even though we're definitely down here in South Florida, we're not in a rural area, we found that they didn't work. They couldn't pick up a signal or send a signal. So we basically stayed with Verizon. The video you're going to see again is my installing this monitor. It's a little tedious, a little boring. I think the biggest takeaway is you recognize that even though I've done this a long time, that it isn't something that you can do in 2 minutes. And in Florida, we're always dealing with a lot of heat. And in fact, that's why I'm now doing content creation, because I'm 73 and it was getting to a point where I really couldn't handle the heat anymore. Thank goodness I have something, as I am now, something I always wanted to do. Now, monitoring-wise, you have two different types of monitors that are on and can be on Generac generators. A lot of them come out of the factory, especially the air-cooled product, that have a Wi-Fi monitor built in. Now, what that means is providing the customer has enough Wi-Fi signal out to their generator in their yard. In some cases, we had to put a Wi-Fi extender. They only, when they're home or in their yard, they're only going to have access to knowing what's going on with the generator. So it's good, but it really isn't helping anybody. As a dealer, I will not be having a Wi-Fi signal from them, obviously, because I'm not there. So what the best monitor choice is cellular, meaning that anywhere there is a cell signal, and that's almost everywhere. I didn't generally walk into or have customers that I couldn't put a cellular monitor in place. In some cases, we had to put a different antenna on the system if they would happen to be where the cell signal wasn't as good as we wanted it to be, but we always had a choice and we always could get it done. So Wi-Fi is okay. It's okay for the customer, but cellular is good for the customer and good for the dealer. And again, we want to make sure we give the best service to the customer. What you're also going to see, we show you the differences of the cellular monitor. We show an example of, on the air-cooled product, the Wi-Fi. There's one other area that isn't used very often. It can be good for elderly, and that's having their propane monitored. Because, as a dealer, when I would go do service, part of my service to a customer was to check their fuel. And I could tell them, you get 50%, 60%, you need a refill. And we would certainly be very diligent when a storm was coming. Because the biggest problem is when we would have a storm here and we'd have a long power loss situation, customers really needed to start out with a good amount of gas. We found with Hurricane Irma in 2017, I had customers running anywhere from 0 hours. We have Western Florida that's pretty close to here that seems to never lose power, which doesn't make sense, but it doesn't. And, I had those that were, in different areas running up to 13 days. I'm sorry. So generally, even if you take and make sure you're only running what you need to run, I always would say don't have lights on that you don't need. Manage your hot water heater so it's not on 24/7. If you can, let's say, not run one of your ACs. Those are all things that would have it where the gas would run longer. Now, the goal of all the installations was that, and this is even more or less even from the state of Florida, we would try to have a generator customer self-sufficient for 7 days. 7 days is good, but of course, beyond that, they're not going to have enough gas. And we would work to, as I said earlier, that we're starting out with a good amount of gas, and also we're basically having it set up with their provider of propane that they can get a refill. Now, what happened with Hurricane Irma, and we had planned this all in advance. I work with multiple propane companies, and we actually had it where we had to switch approximately 7 customers to a new service, which is not as easy as it sounds, but it was mainly because they either A, couldn't get a hold of their propane company, we couldn't get a hold of their propane company, and they were going to run out of fuel. And I've always said, in all the 18 years I've done generators, I will always try to make sure that you don't run out of fuel or you have a bad battery. Those are one of the 2 big things. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching this. It's a little, as I said, it's a little tedious because I had trouble drilling the hole in the side of the generator. Anyway, thank you very, very much. I am enjoying the presentations. I have a lot of other things that I want to do, things that I've done in my life that basically could be interesting. So we will have fun with that. And again, thank you, thank you, thank you, and please take care. Good morning. I didn't know you were going to be here. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the help. Thank you. What we're doing today, by the way, is we're installing a mobile link, the LTE4 device that basically goes on a generator. It's cellular, and it basically makes sure that everybody knows what's going on with the generator at all times. The worst case, as it did in this case before I started doing this with this generator, they lost power and the generator didn't come on. So the neat thing with the monitors is it basically says, hey, the generator's having a problem right now. You go and take care of it, and then you're good. Let me get the rest of my tools. Okay, the first thing I have to do, it's going to be a little noisy, but I've got to drill the hole for the mobile link so it goes on the case and is definitely in a good situation. This is the mobile link. Pretty cool. This is what has to be drilled hole-wise in the case so that we can put this. It has insulation or rubber grommet on the back to ensure that no water can get into this. So it should be pretty good. But as I said, first we have to do is we need to drill the hole. So it's going to be a little noisy, so don't worry. Take a little rest. It's kind of thick metal, to be honest with you, and the good news is they need to be strong because they have to survive hurricanes. also going to do is take this front cover off, because that's how basically we have to work from inside. By the way, this is the controller. This is the brains of the generator. Move this out of the way. See, we all work from in here. Continue drilling. Let's not drop the screws. That's always a problem. Don't put them on top. We're getting close. Hole's not large enough yet. Just want to check, make sure you're still here. Sorry for all the noise. Just cleaning up the hole. You want the hole to be just where you can screw this through. There we go. See, I'm screwing this PVC piece in, and we're going to be in good shape. Because we want to, as I said, we don't want to have leaks in here or around the actual monitor. Just need to clean the hole out a little bit. Are you getting thirsty? I know it's a little hot out. Florida is nice weather most of the time, as you can see today, but it is hot, and it's even hot now. By the way, the generator business, everything takes longer than you think it should.
You know, I really appreciate your time and help. It's really nice. Thank you. Okay, we're looking pretty good. Now we grab the device. This is how it connects. This connection is how it goes into the system. It goes through here. And then we screw this on to get a nice tight fit. Okay, that should be good. Now what we also have to add is the antenna. Without the antenna, you wouldn't get any messages. Okay, there we get the antenna. Now we're ready to communicate. Now we have to open up the additional kit. It comes with a wiring kit, but this is for the air-cooled product. This is liquid-cooled, meaning it's got a radiator. By the way, this is a 48 kW. This wiring kit is longer because it's going further down. It goes into the brains of the controller, so controller tells the monitors what's going on, sends a signal out. Now we have to get into the back of the controller. Oops. Don't tell anybody, okay? I know it's taking a long time. Hope you're doing all right. I know it's the sun is blocking a little bit. You know, if you need to take a break, just let me know. Working on generators is not it's not easy. Even though you do it over and over again, it still takes a little bit of time. I hope you have the time. If you need to leave and come back, that's okay. Just that's fine. By the way, I've been a generator dealer for 18 years. I started when I was young. Now I'm old, but that's okay. This will pivot out, as you see. It's relatively simple. It just takes you time to do it. This is where it plugs into the controller. This is where it plugs into the monitor. Okay, cool. Got that. Now we have to run a line down to the battery, because this hooks up to the battery. That's where it gets its power. There is a tool for this, but I never have it. Should I? Think I should? Yep. Pulling through the connections for the battery.